This is really a gathering of influencers, of community organizations in business and labor and management, and in consulting, in community organizing and in civil rights, in academia and law and the like. And this gives thought leaders an opportunity to share and converse with each other and to really tackle some of the more vexing problems that we face in the basic delivery of services and public protection, which is a societal concern.
I came to the Days of Dialogue today because I believe in the dialogue process. I think it's always great when we have a chance to sit down in small groups and have meaningful exchanges. And I think particularly on this topic, the future of policing and community policing, it's important to actually sit down and engage in conversation.
Well, I think this is an excellent first step. It has to begin with people being able to talk, feel comfortable having the dialogue, having the difficult conversations, and ultimately getting to that point where we're ready to say, what do we do now? In other words, not wearing ourselves out, having a dialogue, but having the necessary dialogue and then being able to move forward with next steps. And people taking commitment and owning the problem and working and owning solutions.
What brought me to the Days of Dialogue today is basically there's been a lot of conversation within our communities, communities of color around police violence, excessive force, police brutality, and I wanted to be a part of this conversation to see what more so what outcomes are being created out of these discussions, what action is being taken. That's what I came to see, to find out more.
Well, I just had the honor of participating in a dialogue that had the input and voices of many people doing a lot of good work, and I think that the commitment to progress that has been made, I think, is the reason why we see some of the positive successes that we've had, like Proposition 47 being passed and other reforms, as well as the implementation of body cams. And I think that continued dialogues between the community and law enforcement agencies can contribute to further progress, but I still know that there's a long ways to go.
As servants to the community, it's important that we understand and own and participate in any and all issues that affect the neighborhoods that we serve. What a phenomenal job in terms of engagement that LAPD is doing. And I say that with no reservation because having been a member of the LA Fire Department for 35 years, I would have never said this 35 years ago. And that's not to suggest that there still isn't work to do within the Los Angeles Police Department, but I do applaud their willingness to engage in issues that are in communities that they serve.
I just found it so inspiring, and I left energized and more committed to going back and working with my community, our stakeholders, our supporters, and continuing this dialogue. And I think that all of us had the same reaction to participating in this facilitated dialogue. And my hope is that it will create a groundswell of support for real reform in terms of police interactions with the community.
As a mediator, it's dialogue that allows you to reach resolution, reach consensus, and move forward with positive solutions and durable solutions. And that is exactly what's needed when it comes to the discussion between the community and law enforcement as far as creating durable solutions that will create, just fortified relationships moving forward.
From my point of view, it allows us to have a deeper conversation about some very complex and challenging issues that we have surrounding the police service all over the country. So with that deeper understanding, I find that we also bring people together who are then committed to taking some action. So understanding with action is very exciting, and it's just great to be a part of it.
I think dialogue leads to more understanding. I think a lot of times there seems to be a miscommunication between the law enforcement and the people who live in the community. And a lot of it stems from people not understanding each other, what their needs are, what their fears are, kind of how best they can come together in a partnership to protect and serve. And so I think that when you have dialogues like this, it really puts people in different mindsets that they might never have had before, and it leads to kind of what I call aha moments.
Well, it's my hope that all the parties who are involved in the dialogue are heard by each other, and that, you know, if we're sincere with each other and we really listen to each other, we'll find some common ground, but we'll also find room to think about things differently, learn about each other's perspectives, and, you know, create change together.
Oh, today was a great experience. I mean, I've done similar things like this for an open dialogue. Again, there were different people within our group from vast areas, and they had different perspectives. So again, it was great because everyone had their own opinion. We were able to voice our opinion. Everyone was respectful when one person was talking, other people were listening, and we stayed on topic.
I hope that police are able to, as much as possible, see the humanity in the people who they are protecting and serving, and even those who they have to interact with sometimes in ways that are violent or uncomfortable, to always remember that there are people at the other ends of their interactions, people who are connected to families, communities who have their own hopes and aspirations and dreams.
I think facilitated dialogue brings everyone to the table and engages everyone in that dialogue that's necessary in discussing what the community responsibilities, not just law enforcement and community members, but the community partnerships, and as a whole as a community, how we can work together, and discussing our concerns to make sure that whatever policies are brought forward address those same concerns.
Sitting at the table and participating in this dialogue, I had the experience of truly being heard and acknowledged. And among people who share just an enormous love for our community, an enormous love for people and wanting to do the right thing. And you know, that's very inspiring.
I think everybody coming to the table and sharing their ideas and thoughts and feelings on the issues helps everybody to not only state their point of view, but listen and open their minds to different points of view. We all have different experiences, and hearing it from different points of view helps us to think outside our own little box.
From my experience, just being here and communicating and interacting with other people, especially law enforcement, by me being someone that comes from the lower community, it was really, really important to get a feel of other perspectives on what's going on in the lower communities. We have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of concerns, and just to hear that someone is concerned is a great deal for me.